Kia, the gorilla, had a very strange pregnancy, and an even more surprising birth. Everyone screamed when they saw what she delivered. Kia, a loved gorilla at her zoo, had a story that touched everyone who knew her. She was born in the African rainforest, showing the wild beauty of her kind. Sadly, hunters killed her mother when Kia was just a baby, leaving her alone. "We found her hiding in the brush," whispered a wildlife officer, "terrified and all alone." Wildlife protectors rescued her and gave her a second chance. They took her to Columbus Zoo, where kind zookeepers welcomed her warmly. They cared for her with love, giving her a safe place to grow. Over time, Kia became close with her caretakers, forming deep bonds across species lines. They were often surprised by how smart she was. "Look how she's watching us," Maria said to John, another keeper. "Those eyes understand everything." Now, grown up, Kia was very social. But just days after turning 11, her keepers noticed something unusual happening with her. She started behaving differently, showing small changes that caught their eye. The team watched her carefully, feeling both worried and curious. Kia stopped eating, felt sick in the mornings, and slept most days. Thinking something might be wrong, the caretakers tested her quickly. What they found was completely unexpected. Kia was pregnant. "It's impossible, doctor." Emily gasped. "We've been so careful with her interactions." She had grown close with Kofu, a temporary zoo resident who arrived a few months earlier. The news filled the team with wonder and excitement. It was beautiful to see the orphaned gorilla they raised now becoming a mom herself. A new chapter in Kia's life was starting. The team, led by their dedication and Dr. Emily Harris's knowledge, prepared to help Kia through her pregnancy. They knew the birth would be important for both Kia and the zoo. Dr. Emily Harris, an experienced vet who specialized in gorilla care, worked with the zookeepers to watch Kia's behavior. They spent hours observing her, recording every small change in her daily routine. As they carefully studied her day-to-day life, they noticed strange things that suggested this pregnancy wouldn't be like others they'd seen at the zoo. "She's avoiding the others again today," noted Tom, jotting in his logbook. Kia became more withdrawn, seeking quiet corners in her enclosure. She completely changed, now eating huge amounts of food, devouring meals hungrily. Their best experts worked together to care for her. They changed her diet to ensure she got the right nutrients for herself and her baby. The zookeepers watched her around the clock, ready to help at any moment. Pregnant animals often pull away from friends, herds, or packs. Their first instinct is to protect their babies, so they tend to isolate themselves. But Kia's behavior became worrying. She wasn't just avoiding others. She refused to leave her favorite spot or interact with anyone, including caretakers. She had been very friendly until then, and this sudden change confused everyone. "Kia, girl, it's just me," Maria coaxed, holding out a banana. "Come on, take it." She spent most of her time sleeping or lying down, as if too weak to move or too scared to approach her old friends. Still, Dr. Emily decided not to separate her from her adoptive family, believing such a big change would hurt her mental health. As days turned to weeks, Kia grew more restless, and her protectors stood ready, feeling both excited and nervous. They knew she would give birth soon and couldn't wait to see her return to her happy, active self. As excitement grew at Columbus Zoo, a new vet and gorilla expert, Dr. Jason Miller, joined the team. Dr. Emily Harris, the experienced animal caretaker, had doubts about Dr. Jason at first. Their different approaches to gorilla care created some tension. "Your methods are outdated," Dr. Jason stated during their first meeting. "We need to modernize our approach." "My methods have worked for 20 years," Dr. Emily replied sharply. Their contrasting views showed during talks about food preferences, enrichment activities, and daily routines. One incident that increased their differences involved gorilla socialization. Dr. Emily believed strong social bonds among gorillas were crucial for their mental well-being. She wanted to let gorillas interact freely, similar to what happens in the wild. Dr. Jason, however, worried about possible conflicts and injuries from uncontrolled socialization. He preferred a more controlled approach, limiting interactions to reduce aggression risks. "You're just making them dependent on humans," he argued, "and you're isolating social creatures," she fired back. The newcomer thought Kia proved his point. Seeing her so distant made him push for removing her from the shared space, directly against Dr. Emily's earlier decision. The pregnant gorilla became a test case for the two doctors. While Emily encouraged her to interact with old friends, Jason helped build her an even more hidden spot, and often physically stood between her and other gorillas, including Kofu, her baby's father. Their different opinions caused frustration and division in the team. Zookeepers were caught in the middle, torn between methods they knew under Dr. Emily and new rules from Dr. Jason. But something unexpected happened. Kia went into labor earlier than anyone expected, much earlier. "It's too soon," cried Tom, rushing from the enclosure. "Someone get both doctors now." Some zookeepers joked she was just tired of the doctors arguing about her care. But the vets knew something more serious was happening. They just didn't know what. Everyone rushed into action, and the coming birth made them change. The urgency forced Dr. Emily and Dr. Jason to set aside differences and focus on their shared goal, providing the best care for Kia and her coming baby. "We need to work together now," Dr. Emily said firmly. "Forget our disagreements." The feeling of unity between Dr. Emily and Dr. Jason grew stronger as they worked together, ensuring Kia got the full care she needed. But this birth proved harder than expected. Kia groaned and roared in pain for hours with no sign of the baby. Watching the gorilla suffering, both doctors grew increasingly worried. Hours felt like forever as she bravely endured each contraction. "Something's wrong," Dr. Jason whispered. "The baby should have come by now." The zookeepers remained steady, offering strong support to the determined gorilla mother. In the wild, animals don't get medical help, and vets usually don't interfere with nature. But as labor continued, it became clear that Kia needed medical assistance. Dr. Emily and Dr. Jason made the hard choice to step in to help deliver her baby safely. The two stood together. They had put aside their early disagreements, now united by a shared goal to give the best care to the gorilla mother and her coming baby. They needed to check why Kia was having such a hard birth. With swift hands, Dr. Emily worked quietly, and what she found shocked her. "It's placenta previa," she whispered to Dr. Jason. "The placenta is blocking the birth canal." Sadly, Kia was struggling because she had placenta previa. This means the placenta was sitting at the opening of Kia's cervix, blocking her baby's way out. They would need to do surgery. As Kia's contractions got worse, everyone in the room quickly got ready for an emergency C-section. C-sections on gorillas don't happen often, but they knew they had to try to save both mother and baby. "We have no choice, Doctor." Jason nodded. "Let's begin immediately." "Sorry for the interruption. Before we continue with the story, I kindly ask you to like the video and subscribe to this channel. It is very important for us. Thank you very much." Because this was such an unusual procedure, the zookeepers decided to film it to provide helpful information to doctors and vets worldwide. When the procedure began, the team's eyes and cameras stayed fixed on the laboring gorilla, their hearts beating fast with fear and worry. With expert skill, the two doctors did the C-section. The tension in the room was strong as the team held their breath, hoping for a good outcome. And then, suddenly, the room burst into happy cheers as Dr. Emily carefully took a small gorilla from Kia's belly. She proudly said it was a female, and the zookeepers started looking for good names for the little gorilla. "She's perfect," Maria whispered, eyes wide with wonder. But the team's joy quickly turned to shock when they realized that wasn't all. Just a few minutes later, Dr. Emily pulled out another small gorilla, causing a chorus of screams from her co-workers. With gorillas, females usually give birth to only one baby every 4 to 6 years, and only 3 or 4 in their whole life. Twin births in gorillas are even rarer, and both babies surviving birth at all is even more unusual. "Another one," gasped Tom. "I can't believe it." Dr. Emily and Dr. Jason checked one baby each, then both gave a thumbs up to show they were breathing well and healthy. Despite the ordeal, Kia had given birth to not just one but 2 healthy gorillas. It was a miracle. Everyone cheered in surprise, and the room erupted as they all screamed and clapped. After the procedure, Kia was quickly cared for and left to rest in a separate enclosure. Everyone on the team was eager to look after her little ones while she recovered. They were small and fragile, but their lungs were strong, and their tiny hands soon learned how to grab and hold the bits of food the caretakers offered them. "This little one has Kia's appetite," John remarked as he bottle-fed one baby. Finally, Kia woke up a few days later and got to meet her babies. Even though she was separated from them right after birth, she immediately rushed to hug them and let her natural motherly instincts take over. The team stood amazed at the miracle they had seen, a double blessing that went beyond expectations and filled their hearts with an indescribable sense of wonder. When news of Kia the gorilla having twins reached the zoo community, many reacted with shock and disbelief. Such an extraordinary event had rarely been seen, and the impact for gorilla conservation efforts was huge. Kia's story had gone beyond being just a local zoo event. It had become a worldwide phenomenon that needed close study. "In 30 years of research," declared a visiting primatologist, "I've never seen this." Researchers knew how rare gorilla twins were, with only a few recorded cases in the history of primate studies. The chance to watch this exceptional event up close was an unmatched opportunity, one that could give valuable insights into the reproductive behaviors and biology of these magnificent creatures. And so, dozens of researchers and vets rushed to the zoo, all of them hurrying to get a good look at the cute family of primates. Since gorillas have now become endangered due to hunting, loss of habitat, and disease, finding a zoo that was successfully helping to increase the species population was amazing. The researchers watched with wonder as Kia interacted with her twins, seeing the tender bond that had formed between the mother and her babies. Her nurturing instincts were clear as she lovingly cared for each of her little ones. "Look how she divides her attention perfectly," whispered Dr. Emily to her colleagues. Beyond the emotional connection that the researchers saw, they were also keen to gather important data that could help understand gorilla twin births. Observations of Kia's mothering behavior, feeding patterns, and how she split her attention between the twins were all valuable pieces of information. Each moment offered insight into the complex workings of gorilla family life, an area that remained relatively unexplored in scientific writing. In addition to watching behaviors, the researchers took the opportunity to do medical exams on Kia's twins. Health checks, growth measurements, and genetic testing were carefully done to determine the well-being and genetic uniqueness of each baby. This data would not only help in their immediate care, but also prove invaluable for future studies on gorilla reproduction and genetics. The news of this exceptional birth strengthened efforts to protect gorilla habitats and ensure their survival in the wild. Kia's babies became symbols of the hope and strength that animal protectors carried in their fight against threats faced by gorillas and other endangered species. But despite the rare and amazing event that the zoo had just seen, things were far from good for the workers and managers. Columbus Zoo had been facing a huge problem, severe money troubles that cast a shadow over its future. "We might have to close exhibits if things don't improve," the director admitted during a staff meeting. The zookeepers and passionate animal caretakers had been struggling to find the resources needed to keep the zoo running. Mike Reynolds, an experienced senior zookeeper who deeply loved the zoo and its animals, emerged as a ray of hope during these hard times. "I have a plan," Mike announced, determination in his voice. Kia's story could be our salvation. Seeing the urgent need for funding, he took it upon himself to create new plans that would attract more visitors and generate money. Not discouraged by the size of the challenge, Mike was sure he could turn things around. Using his years of experience and deep knowledge, he created a complete fundraising plan showcasing the amazing stories that Columbus had to offer. One of these stories was Kia and her miracle twins. Everyone understood why Mike had included Kia and her babies. As they watched her recover, they saw the twins grow stronger too. Sure, gorilla twin births were rare, but seeing both babies survive was even rarer. "Most twin gorillas don't make it past the first week," Dr. Emily explained to the staff. "These two are defying every statistic we have." Sometimes it was due to a mother neglecting one baby, or birth defects that left both babies unable to live. These two were beating the odds with every minute they stayed alive. There was no doubt that people would travel far to see this beautiful family of three. Mike's determination gradually started to show results. The media attention around Kia's story gave a timely boost to his fundraising efforts. Recognizing the rare nature of Kia's story, Mike worked with the marketing team, reaching out to news outlets to highlight the extraordinary story. "This is more than just a zoo attraction," he told reporters gathered at the first press conference. "This is a conservation miracle happening before our eyes." News outlets eagerly picked up the story, spreading the word and creating more interest in Columbus Zoo. The public became curious, and talk spread about the captivating event. The media coverage acted as a powerful boost for Mike's fundraising efforts. The arrival of reporters was met with both excitement and worry. The zookeepers were afraid their presence would disturb the animals, but recognized the potential impact on the zoo's future. "Will all these people stress Kia and the babies?" Maria asked during a staff meeting. "We'll create a schedule," Dr. Jason replied. "Limited viewing times, small groups, and complete quiet during feedings." Interviews with the zookeepers, Dr. Emily Harris and Dr. Jason Miller, became daily events. The team shared their experiences, painting a vivid picture of their commitment to the animals in their care. They described Kia's journey and the challenges they faced. With each passing day, the zoo's gates saw a steady increase in visitors. Families and individuals, drawn by the chance to witness Kia and her twins, flocked to Columbus, bringing life to the once struggling zoo. "We've had more visitors this week than the entire last quarter," the ticket manager reported excitedly. The renewed flow of visitors brought a surge of money, helping the zoo ease its financial burdens. Kia's story had not only saved Columbus Zoo from money troubles, but had also started a global conversation about the importance of preserving our planet's precious creatures. Through the power of media, the remarkable journey of Kia and her twins became a symbol of resilience and the value of all life. And as the media excitement slowly calmed down, the impact it had on Columbus Zoo remained lasting. The increased awareness and support became the foundation on which the zoo continued to thrive. I never thought gorilla twins would save this place, Mike reflected as he watched a school group eagerly press against the viewing glass. To this day, Kia and her babies, Mosuba and Makombo, are still alive and well, proving that miracles and dreams can come true. The reality of gorilla endangerment remains pressing in today's world. But thanks to the efforts of zoos, sanctuaries, and reserves, their future is looking a little brighter. Did you enjoy this story? Do you believe miracles can happen in the animal world? Let us know in the comments below. If you like the story, subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Sometimes, the most unexpected lives bring the biggest hope.